If you know anything about New York in 1997, and you knew that they had the rap game on Smash, one album that initially went under the radar but ended up being an all-time timeless classic was A War Report by Capone N Noreaga. This is a look back at Capone N Noreaga's debut album. The story of Capone N Noreaga is really the story of a brotherhood, and the two brothers who, although didn't grow up together, they were fighting the same wars. Noreaga is from Lefrak City, which isn't too far from where Capone is from, Queensbridge. Capone and Noreaga met while they were incarcerated in the early 90s. They really didn't meet up on some MC rap thing. They really connected for their love of basketball. Hip hop would come later.
My name is Cayenne, So I had that name for years, and I was, skating, loading, running around, But after I got my thing, he was, he gonna tell you about his name, but me, I just kept Capone, and just took the cow because, I matured, and that was that.
I used to read a lot of books, so there's one book that I was real fond of. It was a book about Noreaga. It's about 1,500 pages long. It's real thick. You know what I mean? And I really like the politics behind Noreaga. People didn't think I was gonna read it, so when I read it, people it just became a nickname after I read the book. They were just like Noreaga, you know what I mean? And it just stuck with me.
Capone was released from jail around 1994, right when Queensbridge was about to take over the rap game. This was also around the same time he met a legendary Queensbridge MC who actually started releasing music in the early 90s by the name of Tragedy Khadafi. Traj could relate to the pitfalls Capone and Noreaga faced as youths growing up in the projects. Traj got locked up at an early age, around 16 years old. The worst part was this is when Traj was the hottest young talent in Queensbridge. At this time, he was rolling with the Juice Crew, Marley Marl, and he had a bright future before his incarceration. Being in Queensbridge as an MC in the 80s and early 90s was like being on the Yankees. Craig G, Roxanne Shante, MC Shan, members of the Juice Crew was all tangible. Traj got a chance to drop a lot of music through Marley Marl and the Juice Crew, and eventually dropped his solo debut album in 1990. Traj went by the Intelligent Hoodlum at that time, at the beginning of his career.
Me and Capone met through mutual friends. It's crazy because he was from like 2 blocks from where I grew up at.
That's how we did.
I heard his name, apparently, allegedly, he was accused of bang shooting a police officer.
When I really met Traj was when I was hustling in Troy, New York. Me and my nigga Shy right there, you know what I'm saying? And my nigga Wonderful.
Just was running together. So Pone was like, yo, you stay at my crib.
That shit was like a motherfucking family because Traj was living with me. We was living together, you know what I'm saying? We was all living together in the hood, you know what I'm saying? With my moms, rest in peace, mommy.
You know what I'm saying? If you look on any of my albums, I always shout her out because she was like a mother to me.
Traj was now ready to be on both sides of the game, rapping and starting his own brand called 25 to Life. Traj really saw a lot of potential and talent in Capone, and they was really down to do music. Traj bought a lot of equipment, and the two started to record demos for Capone.
This shit, like, to me, that's Capone. I wanted to concentrate on Capone, you know what I'm saying? But Capone, I ain't gonna lie, Capone was like, yo, but my man is nice. I want my man to be down with me.
Capone brought Nore to trash.
So what was Nore's name?
You know what I'm saying?
The DR parade, Lion Bringers, Blues, Balls, and Praise. So, hang. Now we doing it.
It took like a lot of coaching from me, of course, coaching and grooming and shit, and just chiseling everything. After a while, people started like saying, yo, but this shit is kind of hot.
My nigga, and that's he taught me everything I know, and that's the reason why it went off the way it went off.
Capone and Nore were polar opposites on the mic. Capone was more straight to the point and pocket, and Nore was like a wild southpaw boxer. You didn't know where the punches were going to come from, but they always landed heavy. The two would start to record demos and start to build a buzz.
I want all you mine, mega shines and dimes on the blocks with wops pushing works and Marriotts. To me it's all worth it to push that with the Eddie.
The hand of the $1 million man, lay in the sand. I'm sitting on 1,000 grams. Designer woman rub me down in lotion. Yacht coat,
storefront. My team push keys through the Panama Canal. What? Busting they fist out, sipping on Cristal, the finest women. Designer.
Capone N Noreaga was starting to build a really good buzz in the streets. They ended up on the November issue of the Source magazine and the Unsigned Hype talent page. This page was huge because this would showcase a lot of up and coming MCs and groups before they got their actual record deals. This point in their lives, they were definitely headed in the right direction. So a year later, in 1996, after appearing in an Unsigned Hype column in the Source magazine, Capone and Noreaga got their deal with Penalty Recordings. It was now time to really put everything they learned into a debut album. The theme was CNN, Capone and Noreaga, two reporters on the front line of the war in New York in the 90s.
Everything was based on Middle East. Like when they was going through the turmoil with the oil and everything was based on that. Like Tragedy, Khadafi, Iman, Doug, people that had power but was like outcast.
But if we come on some third world shit, we'll fuck the game up. This is the hood. This ain't third world, nigga. Ain't slugs flying over you. They flying over me. We taking this.
While CNN was recording their debut album in '96, The War Report, little did they know the war was coming from Cali, not New York. Snoop Dogg and the Dog Pound decided to disrespect the East Coast. They came to New York driving lowriders. They were kicking down buildings, showing mad disrespect. Queensbridge artists wasn't having it, CNN included. This ultimately became one of the first times we saw CNN with the single called LA LA.
Snoop Dogg and the Dog Pound attacked the East Coast.
Yeah, they went at New York. They had a joint, New York, big city of dreams.
We was looking at Snoop like, what the fuck? What y'all niggas talking about, though? So y'all talking about us?
Everybody's looking for an answer from this side. And 25 to Life was the first to step up.
LA, big city of dreams, but everything in LA.
Yo, Havoc, I just heard Flex play some shit by Snoop and the Dog Pound, Death Row and all that, going right at us, son.
He was the one that put it all together, you know what I'm saying?
They did New York. We go back at them and we do LA.
He moved the Ponds, moved the Rooks, moved the Queens, you know what I'm saying? Until he solidified his position.
Burn me. My man turned states and took the 1 to 3. Snitching on me, how could it be? We was team. I guess he got divided by the cream. FBI ran in my crib where I live, snatched my wife, child welfare, took my kids. Son, I can't live. I got hit with double light bid. Doom, 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 doom. From the stress, my head throbbing like a tumor. It's 1 o'clock, make it a lot. I catch Juma, lay down my towel, slide off my suede Pumas. The rumors spread around the jail like that. Been down for 6 joints, holding down these flats. Latin kings do they thing, ice pick for gats. Trying to lay my guard body cats all in they back, but never that. You know what I'm saying? QBC. Then Capone Mom passed, so I said 2-5 with Mob D. Mommy rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? Inshallah. One love to that nigga Molly.
Was LA? Was it promoting New York? What's the deal?
Well, actually, like, LA wasn't even a planned record, was it?
Nah, it was like we went in, we did it, but you know what I'm saying? A lot of people took it out of context. First of all, we didn't come out and we didn't say any names in the song because when the other cats did it, they didn't make any direct, they didn't come out and say this is about such and such or this is about that one. We did it as like, it was like a rebuttal, because anybody that loves hip hop, I don't know about like this generation, but I know what generation I come from when like Rakim's was coming out and L's and it was love. You was excited to hear the next rap record, you know what I'm saying, the next rap album. And back then it was like really based on, if you didn't have battle records or rebuttal records, you wouldn't have a KRS-One.
Exactly.
So in all essence, KRS-One should respect Shan, because that set him off, and Roxanne should respect UTFO. So it was an answer record. But then you had them little instigating cats that just want to blow it out of proportion and say it's an East Coast West Coast war.
Right.
We just was on it. Like we said, to be honest, we did it for like a blend tape, a mixtape. We did it for a mixtape, and people blew it out of proportion. But
it was like one person heard it, and then another person heard it, and they was like, DJs got onto it and was like, yo, this is it,
Right.
Because it was like an answer record, like he said, and that's what keeps it going. Like somebody disses him, and then it's an answer record back for them. So it's like albums to be bought. Like if you want to hear what his opinion is on that, you gotta buy his album.
Before the album was complete, Capone was put in jail for a parole violation. This would have Noreaga and Tragedy as the primary MCs on the album. To start to promote the album, Tragedy started putting up wanted posters all around Queens. The wanted posters read, "If you have any information on these suspects, call a 1-800 number." This phone number ended up being a phone number for Hot 97. This was brilliant marketing. The album was ready to turn in. The label heard the album, but they said it still needed a hot single. Nori got back in the lab and started writing the infamous Tony. When Tio and Y dropped in early March, this blew up the scene. This to this day is one of the dopest hip hop singles of all time. The beat, the hook, the lyrics, everything was on point. It was now starting to get ready to drop the album officially. The War Report would drop in June of 1997 and can be argued as the best release of that year. No skips, just raw lyrics and ill beats. Beats by Havoc, Easy LP, The Hitman, Naughty Shorts, GITC Crew, Lord Finesse and Buckwild, Marley Morrow, DJ Clark Kent, and D Moet all laid the foundation for excellence. This is the story of two New York MCs reporting live from the streets. This is the story of Capone N Noreaga, the War Report.
Don't understand how Capone and Nori is like one of the greatest duos that ever fucking touched this rap shit. The nigga Chris Lighty was on the.
But you know why? You know
that
why?
Made me. I love what y'all did. Though.
Think of him as a different person.
That War Report 1 was like a deep sea
You was
scroll,
on it.
nigga.
You was on it.
No, I was on
Ad-libs, driver's seat.
Oh, okay, that's
That
right.
was my album.
Right, no doubt.
You was locked up though, son.
That was all good.
You was eating motherfucker.
That's what made it a classic.
I ain't gonna lie.
Name another classic where nigga was locked up.
No, it did add a little. It added some other level of credibility because at that time niggas wasn't in jail that was affiliated with the celebrity. Back then,
Tell Nori
that
that
happening.
shit,
That wasn't happening.
Tell Nori that shit,
Y'all the first niggas to have an album out commercially released with a member in jail.